Welcome everybody, my name is Richard Symons and this is RSEV, our Symons Electric Vehicles. We mainly sell used electric vehicles. And I'm going to do a video now. It's already the end of 2024, but what I'll do is just run through a couple of statistics about what it's been like. Has it been a good year for selling used electric cars? I'll give you a couple of my own numbers, but actually what I want to do is go into independent data from the UK's biggest used car marketplace, from Autotrader, and I'll share with you some of the statistics on used electric cars and used car market in general. Actually, let's compare electric versus the other combustion vehicles as well. And I'll also run through our solar production rate. A full year of solar, what's it been like? Has it saved much money? It saved something like £16,000 last year in 2023. What's 2024 been like? And let's go through what I'm looking forward to in 2025 as well. So firstly, just for us, well, it's 31st of December now. The office is closed, but I'm in doing some of the end of year accounts and such like. And I've got a few little numbers for you before I get into the independent data. So small little team here, there's 4 of us here on a daily basis, and of course we have some subcontractors, things like some of the valeting work and wheel refurbishments and bits like that. But we're just a small little business on the south coast of England, but we've been selling used electric cars for many years now. I've been an owner of electric cars myself since 2015, so we know them very well. Busy little place, and we've managed to sell 0.75 cars per day. So not quite a car a day, but we're heading that way. It's down a little bit from last year. In 2023, we sold 0.8 cars per day, but 0.75, a reasonable number, and it's kept us pretty busy. We could try and do more, have different branches, but it's a nice little group we've got here. A great set of team members and staff here. So to our staff, I do give you many thanks from myself and my wife as owners of the business for all the hard work that's gone into making this all possible. It's been an okay year, but just what I would summarise, it's probably been very up and down. So we've had some really busy months, and then we've had a couple of months which were really quiet. So ultimately, they've dropped all the statistics quite low. I mean, particularly quiet. I think July, August, and of course December as normal have been quite quiet. So they've kind of taken a hit on the stats, but this is what we've got. One thing we have noticed is the average price of the car we're selling here has come down, so just under £30,000 is the average used car price that we've been selling, compared to nearly £40,000 per car as an average during 2023. And that's just because one of our, well, the most popular car we sell, the sort of staple diet of our business here, is used Tesla Model 3s. And of course, they've all come down in value. So I'll talk a bit about values, but they've all got, there's more of them around. They've been around longer. They're getting cheaper. And I've done many a video about how good a used Tesla Model 3 is. And even £25,000 gives you such a really good car, long range refresh. But you can get good electric cars for mid-teens now, even under £10,000 gets you good stuff. But you can get good long range electric cars. It could be a Tesla Model 3, but it could also be things like e-Neros, MG5 estates, for under £15,000. So it makes it more affordable to more people. How's the demand for the used cars? Well, I'll come on to that in a minute with the independent stats. But lastly, for some people have asked, how many cars do we sell on finance? It runs at about, well, I'll tell you, 19.4% of the cars we've sold during 2024 have been bought with a finance package. Of course, we're FCA registered and approved and compliant. There's lots of regulations that go with FCA regulations that go with selling finance, and of course we have to invest and get a license in, train the staff, and of course we do that all the time. But what I want to do now is go on to independent data. So not how me saying we've been quite busy, but a couple of quiet months, but independent data from Autotrader. So let me switch to a screen recording here, and I'll share this with you on the video. So let's have a look here. I'm going to look at the full year. Right, so screen sharing, let's have a look. And this is the first time I've looked at this data, actually. I sort of thought I'd leave it to share it with you. But let's have a look at the last 52 complete weeks of 2024. Can't believe it's the 31st of December already. I hope everyone's going out tonight, having a good time, or spending time with loved ones and family indoors, whatever you might be doing. Right, so let's have a look at the independent data from Autotrader. So firstly here, market health. And I can drill down to different fuel types in a moment, but And when I talk about market health, as ever, let me just clarify this. This is a calculation which is based on supply, the amount of cars in supply, and the amount of demand that there is. So again, the purpose of me doing these usually sort of monthly or bi-monthly videos about EV demand is to really counteract some of the false headlines I still commonly see about electric car prices tumbling down. There's a lot of negative press out there which usually just doesn't have proper data. They're just attention-seeking headline grabbers. So this is independent data. This is from the biggest used marketplace in the UK. Electric cars demand up 25%. We can see at the top there, diesel vehicles up 11%, petrol up 10%. Diesel plug-in hybrids, very small niche market really, not many of those, but that says up 44%. Petrol hybrid 8%, so that's a non-plug-in type, and plug-in hybrids up 16%. So before I go to electric, let's just drill down a little bit on diesels and expand the data on that. Just have a little bit of a look at some graphs for the year. So you can see that market health was very low at the beginning of the year, but actually then increased later in the year. And it shows a dip here in the middle, around about July. And remember me saying that July was a quiet month for us, and we do electric cars. Well, it was a quiet month for people selling diesel cars as well. Now, let's break the data down. So not just market health, but like I said, supply and demand. Supply has been down 17% and demand is down 9%. So less demand for diesel cars. And look at this graph on the right here, declining demand for diesel cars on the used car marketplace. Not my data, independent data, and that is there to see. There's less supply, there's just been less diesels now, I guess, so therefore it leads to the market health actually looking reasonable there, but actually the main number here is demand has dropped. So let's have a look at petrol. So I can't go into every nook and cranny because it would just be a long video. But in terms of petrol, now it shows 10% market health, and that looks reasonably steady through the year, low at the beginning, but then steady through the mid-year. And there we can see supply is down just 4%, demand is actually up 6%. But look at the general graph here, it's actually been going down through 2024. So a decrease in demand. And what's interesting here, the dotted line you might just see in the background is on the previous year. So demand for petrol is actually a little bit up on the previous year, although lower right at the end of the year here. But actually following a similar pattern where there's a dip here in June, July. And that's that little dip there as well in the overall market health calculation. Okay, well, let's go to just electric cars for now. And click on here. So 25% market health. Now let's have a look. First time looking at this, strong at the beginning of the year, but then has been declining. So let's go into a bit more detail. And here's that July. So it wasn't just us that were a bit quieter, general marketplace was quieter. Supply is up 23%. So this is just because there's lots more cars coming off of lease companies every day. They've just been around for longer. There's more of them in the market. But key here, bottom right, is that demand, the sheer number of people looking for electric cars is up 53%. So up significantly. The other graph here is the previous year, and actually it's tracked a similar outline there for demand. So 2023 versus 2024, similar kind of graph trackings there, but 53% up. So lots of people are looking for them, but because there's so many more in supply, it means that the overall market health, well, over 25% up, bit of a dip there, but it's due to supply levels versus demand. And the key thing here, demand is very strong. Okay, well, let's go down to manufacturers now. There's on the field on the left here is the market health for some different manufacturers. Aura, not very good. Lotus, minus 67%, not very good. Polestar, Toyota, Volvo, market health all looking a bit low. But again, if we drill down to this a little bit, market health for Polestar, for Volvo here, negative 16%. But demand is actually 156% up. It's just because supply is 207% up. So demand's still good, and this is why you've got to look into it a little bit more and actually look at the demand. Look how many people are searching for these cars. Actually, demand for Volvo's actually looking quite good. But what I usually do here, again, rather than going into everything, is actually drill down to Tesla, given that that is one of the main manufacturers in the used car marketplace and certainly a large part of our business, and a large proportion of viewers watching this channel will be Tesla owners are interested in buying Teslas, so let's have a look in a bit more detail. Market health 3%, supply 30% up, demand 32% up. That's Teslas as a whole. Again, our number one selling car, Model 3. Let's have a look in a bit more detail. I'm going to come on to Y in a minute because it's been a difficult market for Ys. Market health 4% overall, strong, dips. Strong there, but that's when we were quieter. That's June, then there's a dip there in July, and then it's been wavering off a little bit there for Model 3s. But again, demand, look, as an average, 41% up. A lot of supply right at the end of the year here. Again, leasing deals, 3-year deals coming to an end, and that's the sort of 2021 refresh cars, which have been very popular, coming off of 3-year leases. So demand 41% up, which is pretty good. So there is a good, healthy demand for Tesla Model 3s. I'll also cover Tesla Model Ys, superbly popular car. So let me just drill down to them. So Model Y, look at this, see the red number there, minus 48% market health. And there we are, not looking great apart from a spike there in June on the used market at least. And this is because supply, look at that increasing amount in supply, 245% up. Again, it's been around a bit longer now, coming off of lease companies, just plenty around. But demand is up 67%, so really strong demand for Model Y, but just lots of them. We have seen the prices of Model Ys drop quite a lot, and probably the strongest out of all the sort of mainstream cars. And that's in part because Tesla have been really pushing some promotions for new cars, and that, 0% finance and some free supercharging. And there's pushed a lot of new car sales for Tesla, I'm sure. I don't know how their year is going to be panning out. Probably quite good. But it means that even current Tesla owners of Model Y owners been happy with the car, but actually sold it off and bought a new one because they can get some free charging, 0% finance and such like. And again, usually in our videos in the description below is a referral code. So if you're thinking of buying a new Tesla, check out the referral code or codes in the description below, and you should be able to get a discount on a new car. At least as I film this, it might change, of course, if you're looking at this video in a future date. Maybe they change things after the new year. We shall wait and see. Probably the last deliveries of the year probably happening about now. It's probably very busy at Tesla right now, and then we'll see what happens in the new year for them. Of course, with the Tesla Model Y, there's a new version coming out. Production, there's a rumor to have started now. And so right now already lots more Model Ys coming onto the used car market. We've been quite tentative in buying them in the last few weeks because there's just lots more around. You buy one, don't sell it quickly, the prices are just falling very fast. The flip side of it, so it's not very good if you're an owner, but the flip side of it is if you're looking to buy a Model Y, there's some superb bargains. Again, good, sensible mileage, long-range models, £30,000 now, and lower if you don't want a bit more miles or standard range, for example. So some great Model Ys in the market. So the key thing with all this, you've got to remember, as we look at these stats, is demand generally. So it is strong for electric cars, very good. So it's good to see that. And like I say, we've been okay. Just a bit of an up and down market, really. It doesn't give so much confidence as a business to have more staff, and staff are constantly busier state. So, tentative steps, being a little bit cautious of overheads, which are always increasing. But speaking of overheads, let's have a look at our electricity from our solar panels in here. So again, people that, excuse me, don't usually watch our channel. So again, people that don't usually watch our channel might not be aware, but we've got quite a few solar panels. Struggling to remember what we've got now on the roof. It's been a while since we did, but we've got quite a few on the east, west, and the south face, and we've got a couple of Tesla batteries here. And I've just updated the app, and that means Tesla have given me a new little video. So let me go to screen record actually, and I can share some of that video with you. So here from the Tesla app, our energy use and production. So look at this little new tab. If you haven't seen, if you've got Tesla solar batteries gateway, you will find this video. I better turn the sound down in case there's any copyright. Let's have a look here. So this year we've saved just under £6,000 in electricity. We saved 16,000 last year, but last year was much more expensive energy. It's come down this year. And June was our highest generation month, of course, more sunlight. Doesn't seem like it's been brilliant weather this year, does it? But June was okay. So we generated 23.6 megawatt hours of solar energy this year. That's not bad, is it? Not bad at all. And that's just from this warehouse and this industrial estate on the south coast. I'm looking out the window, lots of the warehouses don't have any solar. So imagine if they all had solar, the amount of energy that could be produced, lots more battery storage, grid level battery storage. We could really do much better, especially with commercial properties where it's easy to put solar panels on, in being cleaner energy production in the UK. 3.7 megawatt hours of energy has been stored via the power walls this year. That's pretty good going, isn't it? So we try and run it as efficiently as we can. So our energy use is in the day when we're all here using computers and charging cars. And that'll be different to a household where energy usage is higher in the evening. So typically we're energy intensive in the day, but then very low at night where we're just running security systems and alarm systems and such like. So we always try and do the best we can to charge cars when the sun's out. And it just saves a fortune. And if businesses and companies have solar and staff with electric cars and you can charge them up, then let's just try and get this done. So the home usage was net zero for 174 days of the year. So some of this, like I say, this is probably geared up a little bit more for household, kind of reporting, but nonetheless, there's some interesting stuff there. 2024 Tesla Archetype Solar Punk. My solar exports were in the top 2% of Tesla energy owners. Okay. It's good to know, isn't it? So we've been able to export quite a lot, and there's a little summary as it comes to the end of the video there. Self-powered for 68% as an average for the whole year. And that's not bad just for a little company here on the south coast. So our solar production has been good. Sales have been okay. A couple of very quiet months have dented the statistics, but generally it's okay. And we can see that a demand for used electric cars is very good. And there's certainly some brilliant bargains out there. What are we looking forward to in 2025? Well, I guess the main talking point at the moment is the new Model Y. New Model Y, one of the number one selling electric vehicles, or the number one in a number of markets, let's say. We get a lot of viewers from around the world, so it is a popular car, and there'll be a new model out soon bringing some improvements which will probably focus on things like refinement and ride quality. Looks like just starting to see a few leaked pictures and videos now, and may see light bars. Will there be stalks for the indicators? Probably not. It'll be on the steering wheel. You get used to it. Tesla self-parking is quite good now, by the way, and actually as I've been using it more and more, the auto drive reverse thing, you get used to that. It's okay. Stalk's easier, but it does kind of work. But with no doubt we'll see some improvements to the Model Y, which would make that a fantastic thing. And there's lots of other electric cars coming through, but on the used market, there's just a brilliant choice now. Tesla have got a limited product range, so it's really good to see more choice, more affordable cars from lots of different manufacturers. Again, some of the biggest bargains are some of the premium cars, like the Porsche Taycans and Mercedes EQSs and BMW iXs. They were very expensive new and they've lost a lot of money. And that's because it makes a lot of sense to buy them new when you're a business buyer, because you can make a number of tax offset savings. But it means that on the used market, it doesn't really leave a buyer for them when they're nearly new. So you kind of have to wait till these cars get to 2, 3, 4 years old and the prices have come down to more like 50,000 rather than their 100,000 new. And then it appeals to the private buyer market. Because of the tax savings you can make buying a new £100,000 electric car versus a used one for £80,000, most people just go, well, there's no point buying a used one for 80, I'll go to £100,000. It leaves this void of non-buyers for these premium cars. And what it does mean is that there's some brilliant bargains for those on the market as well. So if you're looking for new electric cars this year, good luck to you. Maybe we'll be in touch at some point. I'd be lovely to help people who watch our channel if you're looking to buy an electric car. And lastly, before I round up the video, it's of course a massive thank you to all our customers this year. People have bought cars from us, or we've bought cars from them, or we've sold cars for them. That's quite popular still. And a massive, massive thank you to everyone who's subscribed to this channel. So if you're not subscribed already, please do so. Always leave your nice comments. Try and share the video around. It really helps with the popularity of the videos, gives us the enthusiasm to keep making these videos. We'll always do our best. Again, a little bit less staff here than we used to have, but we keep doing it. And if we can keep a consistent workload, then we'll see how this year pans out for video production. So a big thank you to everyone who does watch our channel. Really do appreciate it. I mean that. It means a lot. Lots of nice comments as always. Always enjoyable to read, and so good to meet a lot of viewers when I'm out and about, we're at shows, and of course those who end up becoming customers of ours as well. So I hope it's been an okay year for you. It's been a bit up and down for us, but generally okay, so I cannot grumble at all. And I thank everyone who's been a part of that, I really do. And I wish everybody all the best for 2025.